Okay, so once again, very good evening, good morning, good afternoon to those who are in a different time zone. I hope you had a great week so far and you are all set for the weekend. Okay. Before we jump into the topic, thank you, Anand, and thank you, Target Agility, for this opportunity, allowing me to connect with you all, allowing me to interact with you all and share little of what I know. Um, so this is a brief about me. I'm currently working as a principal consultant. My current assignment is that of an enterprise agile coach. I have an industry experience of over 21 years, and I have been fortunate enough to play various roles like that of an enterprise agile coach, product owner, product manager, scrum master. Okay. My passion is agile and scaling agile. So anytime you feel like having a conversation around how to scale agile, about agile frameworks, about coaching, do not hesitate. Give me a shout and we can have some wonderful, wonderful conversations. Okay. Now, let's jump right into the topic. And I would like this session to be interactive. I don't want to be the one who is speaking for like the next 1 hour or so. So, any thoughts on why Scrum Master as a coach? If you can unmute and speak, that's great. Or if you want to type in the chat, that also works. 30 seconds. Why do you think Scrum Master should be a coach?
See, he is the one who is facilitating, who is actually taking the team together. He's collaborating. He's, a one-stop shop solution kind of a person who will be resolving the conflicts between the team members. Who will
Mm-hmm.
be also monitoring the team performance. Will be also coordinating with the multiple stakeholders, whether they are internal or external. So a person, when we talk about a coach, he should be. We are talking about a mentor who actually takes the team together. He's not a boss. He's a mentor. He's one
Hmm.
who will be actually taking the team to a level where the team together works on a project and delivers a solution collectively rather than
Hmm.
in isolation. And
Hmm.
also he will be the one who will be also monitoring. I mean, to some extent, he will be also monitoring the ROIs to some level, where how the project is
Hmm.
going on, whether there are some risks
Hmm.
also involved in this also.
Hmm.
What are the
Hmm.
mitigation strategies he need to follow together? I mean, in some of the
Understood.
instances,
Understood.
he also need is being responsible for the risk mitigation also. So, I mean,
Got it.
collectively talk
Got
about
it.
a mentor, a person who is grooming the team, who is actually encouraging the team to come to a certain level, come unite the team together and deliver the solutions.
Understood. Understood. Thanks. Thanks, Umesh. Thanks, Umesh. That was
Okay. Okay.
a very, very, I'll say, descriptive answer. Thank you. Mohit, you raise your hand. Go for it.
Yeah, hi Weber. Hello everyone.
Hey.
So as per Scrum Guide, Scrum Master is considered as a true leader who serves the Scrum team and larger organization. And
Hmm.
they serve Scrum team in several ways.
Hmm.
By coaching the team members in self-management and cross-functionality. So
Wonderful.
so they are actually coaching team members and
Hmm.
not about Scrum, but beyond that. So role of a
Hmm.
coach is nothing to get best out of a team. And Scrum Master is already dealing in coaching stuff with Scrum team. So they not
Hmm.
only serves the team, but they also do coach a product owner. They also do support at organization level as well, like by leading,
Got
by
it.
training, by coaching the organization in Scrum adaptation. Similarly, they also help at organization, within organization, via maybe training, or maybe by conducting some facilitation technique, or any icebreaker sessions. Basically, they are actually also
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Thanks. Clear. Okay. So it's great that Mohit, you mentioned about Scrum Guide, and let me take you there. Okay. This is basically what the Scrum Guide says, that what the Scrum Master should be doing. Right. Now, one very key distinction which I want you all to take here, which I want all of you to take note of, is coaching is not mentoring. Coaching is not facilitating. Coaching is not collaborating. Coaching is not risk mitigation. Okay. If you read Scrum Guide very carefully, they have used the terms, and I've highlighted it out here. They've used the terms coaching. They've used the term leading, training, and coaching. If coaching and training was the same, why did they use two separate terms out here? Right. So now the question comes as, we'll spend a little bit time here to understand what is coaching. We'll definitely come to that in a minute. But first of all, please understand, coaching is not training. Coaching is not mentoring. Coaching is not facilitation. Coaching is not collaboration. Coaching is not doing performance reviews. It's something more than that. Okay. To substantiate my claim, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this model of what an agile coach, what a scrum master is supposed to do. So if you look at this model per se, if you look at the items in blue, they all are separate items. If they are same, then why do we have something like professional coaching? Let me take you to, and you will get these slides. Okay, so don't try to copy anything per se. You will get these slides. Okay. Now, if I go to another version of this model where I'm elaborating these things a little, okay, what is teaching? Where you are instructing others in specific knowledge, skills, and perspective. You can teach a product owner how to do backlog management. You can teach a product owner how to do prioritization. You can teach someone, hey, these are the good techniques of communication, how to write good emails, how to be more effective in your communication, right? When it comes to mentoring, you can share your experience. I have worked as a product owner. I have worked as a product manager. I can mentor a product owner. I have not worked in Kubernetes. I have not worked in Kafka. I can't mentor someone who is struggling with Kubernetes or Kafka. I can't tell them how it is done. Okay. So for mentoring, you have to have that skills. You need to have that experience in your bag. Facilitation is, very simply put, something that helps you make your meetings more effective. How many times have you been in a meeting where you have invited 5 or 6 people, everyone shows up, you have a great discussion. At the end of the meeting, if someone asks you, hey, I saw you were having a very good time out there, what are the outcomes of that meeting? And you are clueless. You don't have an answer. That's what facilitation is. Now let's talk about coaching. And when I say coaching, I mean professional coaching. Here, what you're doing, you're partnering with the client in a creative process. It's a process. It's a process. And what do you do through that process? You inspire their personal and professional potential. Very simply put. Okay, before I go ahead, let me take a pause here. Any questions here? Anything which is in your mind which you want to share or which you want to discuss? Okay, if not, then I think the distinction between teaching, mentoring, facilitating, and coaching is clear. Now, what does professional coaching helps? Number one thing, it helps you to empower team members to think for themselves. Let me ask you this very simple question. Will Scrum work if you don't have empowered teams? Reflect on that for a minute. Or will Scrum work if team is not able to think for themselves? I don't think so. And sometimes you might have to coach the leaders to give teams space. Now, here you're coaching the leaders. You can't train them, you can't mentor them, you can't facilitate them, right? You're coaching them. That give teams the space. Now, the question arises, okay, Vaibhav, all this sounds good, all this thing sounds great, but how do I go about coaching? How do I do that coaching? Now, there are different models, there are different techniques. What we are going to talk about today is one process which is very basic, very universal, very simple, yet extremely powerful. And that model, my dear friends, is GROW model. So what is GROW model? Allow me some time to give you an overview of it, and then we'll go into the details. We'll watch a quick demo. Towards the end, I'll look for a volunteer if we can have a live demo of this GROW model. And then we'll end the session with Q&A. So what is GROW model? It's a simple, powerful framework which allows you to structure your coaching session. Now, what does GROW stands for? GROW, G stands for goal. What is the goal? What is it that we are trying to achieve out here? R stands for reality. Okay. R stands for reality. So what is the current reality where you are now? What does your current reality looks like? In view of your current reality, what options or obstacles do you see in achieving your goals? And then when you have those options with you, you ask your coachee to select the best possible option. What are the action items you're going to take to execute that option? If I can just go back and say, draw your attention to professional coaching, please understand one word out here, and that is partnering. What do you mean by partnering? In partnering, you and the coachee, you and the other person are at the same level. You as a coach are not operating from a position of authority. You as a coach are not operating from a position of subordinate. You are partnering. And again, please understand, this is a position, this is a role, a stance that you have to take. You can't be in this stance forever. You can't be in this stance all the time. No. Right? So what you're doing here is when you're having this coaching conversations, what you're actually doing is you're partnering with your client. You are supporting a thought process. You are partnering the thought process. You're following a process. You are executing the process so that he or she can come up with those insights. Okay. We'll watch a short demo of what a GROW model looks like, and then I'll elaborate these steps in detail. Okay, give me one sec. Please ping me if you're not able to hear the sound.
In a leadership role, one of your most important responsibilities is to help your team members grow and develop. When you coach people to reach their potential, you're helping them gain the strengths and skills they need to excel in their roles. If you've never coached anyone before or received any formal training, you may wonder where to begin. The good news is that there are plenty of tools and resources out there to help you improve your skills. One of them is the GROW model. GROW is an acronym for goal, current reality, options, and will. You can use this tool to structure your coaching sessions. Here's a simple example of the GROW model in action. Imagine you're coaching a team member. You decide to use the GROW model to focus the conversation. So you start with her goal. Here, you help her identify an objective she wants to work toward. And you ask her to write down the outcome she wants to see. In this example, your team member's goal is to achieve a promotion within the next year. Next, you ask her to think about her current reality. This is an important step because none of us can achieve a goal unless we know where we're starting from. Your team member tells you that she's doing really well and meeting all of her performance targets, so she would like a new challenge. She knows that if she were given a chance, she could help the team accomplish even more than it is doing right now. Once your team member has identified her current reality, you'll move to the next step in the model and help her define her options. At this point, you want to look at all the ways she could achieve her goal. You'll also consider the benefits and drawbacks of each approach. In our example, your team member identifies several possibilities. One is she understands that a more senior colleague might be moving elsewhere in the organization. If she can start demonstrating the required skills right now, she might be considered for a promotion if it becomes available. The last step in the GROW model is to establish the will. This is what your team member is going to do next to achieve her goal. Here, you also explore the obstacles she might encounter and come up with a plan to overcome them. So for this step, your team member lists what she's going to do next. Her first action is to ask to help lead an upcoming project to learn some new skills. Then, when she thinks of the obstacles standing in her way, she realizes the biggest one is her lack of experience. Leading this project will help her overcome this. She also decides to start studying management and leadership in her own time. And she's going to enroll on a training program at work to build her knowledge. The GROW model is a simple tool that you can use to help guide your coaching sessions. You can find out a lot more about it in the article that accompanies this video.
So again, you saw this demo. Give me a sec. Now, let's quickly go through these steps once again. Okay. What's the number one step? Establish the goal. What is the behavior that you want to change? What is the problem that you are facing? What is the problem that, when I say you, I mean the client, the coachee. I'm the coach right now. What is the problem that you are facing? What is the behavior that you want to change? You might have received some feedback and you want to work on that. Okay. Formulate that as a goal. Try to make it a SMART goal. Specific, measurable, achievable, real time. Okay. And when doing this, how can you frame that? You can ask, hey, how will you know that this problem is solved? How will you know that your team member has achieved this goal? Now, once you have established the goal, the next thing that you do is you examine the current reality. What is the current reality? Many times we miss this step. We just jump onto the solutions. We just try to solve the problem without fully considering their starting point. Has it ever happened with you that you received an advice which is just not practical, which is just not feasible? Most probably the person giving you the advice has just jumped onto the solution without considering your constraints, without considering what your current world looks like. And to understand the reality, what can you do? You can ask these questions. What is happening now? Who all are involved? When is this thing happening? How often is this happening? What is the impact that you are seeing? What is the result that you are witnessing? Once your coachee has defined the current reality, start exploring the options. What are the possible options that you have? From realistic to bizarre, just list down all the options. And then help them to figure out, hey, which one of these options are the best options? Now, at this place, you can definitely offer your suggestions, but please understand they are just suggestions. Don't jump with your suggestions. Let the coachee, let the client come up with their suggestions. They might struggle a little here, which is perfectly okay. They might not be able to come up readily with the options, which is okay. You just have to give them the space and say, hey, it's okay. Take your time. We are not in rush. Do not make decisions for them. So how you can do that, you can ask questions like this. Okay, what will be the ideal situation if this constraint was removed? What do you think are the pros and cons of each of the option? What else can you do? Who else can you approach? And once they have decided on the options, once they have decided on what is it that they want to do, move to the fourth step, which is establish the will. In here, you can get your team member to commit to specific actions. And by doing this, you are helping them establish their will. You are helping them be accountable. So here you can ask, okay, between now and when we meet next, what are all the steps that you are going to take? What blockers do you foresee? How will you overcome these blockers? Do you need any support? When do we meet to review progress? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the grow model for you. I'll take a pause here. Any questions in what we have covered? Any questions? We can move to our demo. May I request any one volunteer who is willing to be a coachee, who has a problem and wants some coaching on that? The only request is, please let the problem be real. Do not bring a personal problem. Something from your workplace. You can definitely change the name of the organization, the name of the people. Just mask the details. Anyone who wants to engage in this exercise? Come on, we have 42 people on the call.
Hi, Vaibhav.
Okay. Hey,
Vidya here.
hi Vidya.
Uh, Consider it as 2 week sprint. In middle of the sprint, client asking for some changes, which reflects our previously defined scope. Product owner pushing the team to do the scope change in middle of the sprint. So this is the problem. How better or in best way we can coach the product owner and also client to deal this.
Okay. So Vidya, help me understand what is the goal that you are looking forward to achieve?
So if the scope change impacts our product backlog prioritization, which is we already defined, okay, considering the capacity currently we have and the timeline left out, and it will totally impact what we have already planned. So my goal here is to make understand client and product owner about the impacts which is going to happen, but I need to approach this in more positive way. I can't say a direct no, I can't say a direct yes to without coaching them about the impacts which is we are going to face as a team. So this is my goal. Yeah.
Okay. So if I summarize, your goal is to help the product owner understand and the client understand that, hey, changes in the middle of the sprint is having an impact. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And your reality is that the client is pushing for it. The product owner is also agreeing to it, and you are not able to convey this in a positive way.
Yes. It is not the current scenario I'm facing, but I want to know how better I can handle this in future. So what are all the options available to better handle this? I want to know.
Sure. So we are just trying to simulate a coaching conversation here. Let's play along if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Vidya, tell me, what is stopping you right now from having this conversation with the client?
First thing is the fear of thinking like client may think us incapable of accepting their request. They might think like that. That is the first and foremost fear I have as a Scrum Master.
Okay. Has the client ever said something similar in the past?
No, it is all imaginary, I'm saying.
So you already know that this is imaginary.
Yeah. I
So,
want to know how better I can handle if I face this. Yeah.
so where is this imaginary fear coming from, Vidya?
So always they say we need to satisfy clients' expectation. So that is where it is coming from.
So, Vidya, you sound like someone who is experienced. You sound like someone who is very aware. You are already aware about many things. What do you think you can do if you have to convey this positively to the client?
So in my perspective, if you ask me, I list down always we should go with data, I believe. Whatever we convey to clients, we should go with clear changes. It leads to impact, maybe in positive way sometimes, maybe in negative way, highlighting risk factors we are going to face, deprioritizing the product backlog, and also in some cases we could not able to deliver what we have committed at the start of the sprint, that is in sprint planning. So there might be some changes if we do in between the sprint scope changes. All these things we need to list out and get the approval for the same from the client. If they are okay with all these things, then we can go ahead with their request. This is how I approach, and I list out the options like this from my end. But still, I want to know how we can do this in a better way than this.
I mean, this sounds like a much better way to me. Why is it not sounding like a better way to you?
Okay, but yes, okay, okay, I got it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, Vidya, what you said right now are few action items, starting with collecting the data, analyzing the impact and the risk, suggesting how we can deprioritize or reprioritize the backlog, and then communicating the same to the client. Do you think you will be able to execute these?
There is no straight yes or no answer. It depends on how many days left and the capacity we do have. Based on that, we can say yes or no for this, I think.
Any other blockers that you say? So let's assume you have 6 days left in your sprint. Now, will you be able to execute this?
Kind of changes they asked, right? Based on that, if we could not able to meet this in 6 days, we can say them as it might go as a spillover in next sprint too, but we are sure we get it done completely in next sprint in that case.
Okay. So, Vidya, let's agree to this if that's okay with you. Are you willing to try this next time when the situation happens and share the results with us? Vidya, did we lose you? Everyone else, am I audible?
You are.
Okay, thanks. Vidya, can you hear me? Okay, I think unfortunately there might be some audio issue with Vidya. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a quick and short demonstration of how you use Grow model. We started with the goal. We discussed, confirmed the current reality. We talked about the options and we came to an action plan. Okay. Any questions, anyone?
Hi, this is Prasanna. I have a question. I don't have, experience as a Scrum Master, but based on the theory, whatever I know, I would like to ask a question. See, the reason to Scrum is you don't want to introduce or take this ad hoc request in between, right? Yeah, and in theory, what I have read is unless the goal is obsolete, we will not cancel the sprint.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know, I'm a little confused. Like, if somebody is
So,
giving you some requests in between, you would like to take them. As per the Scrum guide, we should not allow, right?
okay. So, I'm now wearing my, training hat or a mentoring hat. Okay. I'm not a coach right now. So I'm telling you few options what you can do about it. Okay. See, you have to understand if the client or the product owner is doing that, what is the impact that you are having? You have to communicate that impact to that person. Now, based on my experience, you can tell them that, hey, if you're giving us requirements in the middle of sprint, it's something that will happen. We'll have to de-scope what we have already planned for. Our sprint backlog will change. That's number one. And number two, the long term is next time when the team makes a commitment, they will not be fully committed to it because they're expecting a change anyway in the mid sprint. So you're training the team to be dicey with their commitments. You need to have this conversation. Okay. Prasanna, I hope that answers your question. That gives you some points.
Yeah, thank you.
Vaibhav, Vidya here. Sorry, due to sudden power cut, internet connection gone. My connected.
No problem. No problem. I think we concluded our
Okay.
conversation. So
Yeah. Okay.
so we are
Thank
we
you.
are good. We are good. Okay. So hi Deepika. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I have posted my question, and my question is how to coach a team member who gives false estimation or false progress updates during daily stand-up and share negative. I mean, they're not ready to take any open issues, not proactive enough.
Perfect. So let me ask you this, Deepika. What is the ideal state that you want to achieve with this person?
Make them understand our sprint goal. Like we want to have them a shared understanding so that they are aligned what we have to deliver at the end of the sprint. So that they wanted to know what they are expected to do in the particular 10-day sprint. So if they are ready to identify what they have to do and what are the dependencies they're having, so what is expected, so that would help. And these team members are knowing what they have to do, but intentionally for some reason to take break and for other like not willing to work, so they are giving false estimations and false updates.
Okay. So I understand the goal that you want to achieve is that these team members should give the correct estimation and the correct progress update, right?
Yes.
Deepika, what do you think could be the reason behind this behavior?
Behavioral issue, it is because maybe like they are not motivated enough and they're willing to contribute, maybe like trying to push the work to others who are working and off.
Okay. What else could be the reason?
A few times role issues also, why I should pick the work which junior can pick it up, and maybe that kind of thought process might be running in their mind.
Role issues, you said. Okay. Any other thought that comes to your mind which you think could be responsible behind this behavior?
Their skill gap, maybe they are not aware of what to do, and skill gap, and they're hesitant to ask for help, and they don't, maybe as Vidya said, fear. They might think that if I ask this question, someone will take me low and they'll be treating me in a different perspective, not giving and they will not be valued in the team. So these could be the possible reasons I am feeling.
Okay. Okay. So, Deepika, knowing that these are the possible root causes, what do you think are a couple of options that you have which you can execute to achieve your goal?
Yeah, I always try to give a short-term plan. So when they are not ready to understand what they need for complete 10 days, I give them a short plan and I ask them to split the task, break down the stories, and try to in smaller chunks so that they'll be able to accomplish that, and they also feel that okay, they are contributing to the team's success.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if there is
Okay.
any support or guidance they're looking for, I will try to pair them with any seniors and try to ask them for suggestions or inputs, or if there any technical help required, maybe we'll plan a kind of working session. So these are the things I have followed. Maybe if any other better approach I can use so that they don't give a false estimation, so that they are transparent enough and they will be visible to the team. So
I mean, among the two of us, you are working with these people much more closely. You understand them much better. You are the best person to come up with the options. So let's go back again to the possible causes that we discussed. What other things you think you can do to help them with this situation?
task distribution, I have, as mentioned, task distribution maybe, and splitting, story slicing is one way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you know that they sorry, please complete.
Yeah, pair programming I mentioned.
Pair programming.
One-on-one conversation with them, I got to know that they are not aware of certain things. They have not understood the story way. So during the stand-up calls, they don't want to share any progress updates because they have not done anything in all day.
Okay, and that is because they have not understood the story.
Not understood, and yeah, and they don't feel that they're not, that is not their piece of work, let others handle. So taking assignment or responsibility or ownership is lacking there.
Right. So, Deepika, what do you think you can do to solve these 2-3 issues? Make sure that they understand stories, make sure that they understand their responsibilities.
Yeah, few approaches. What I feel is, yeah, work closely with them till they feel that they are confident. So this is one factor, that they are not confident enough, so they don't want to pick up new work or new challenges that they are coming. So work with them closely so that they feel confident until they contribute like other individuals who are very proactive, and make them understand how effective their works and how they can be recognized, and motivate them with other recognitions and some kind of like how they make them feel like they are also part of the team, valued, and their contribution is also very much important here.
Great, great. So, Deepika, how will you ensure that this is all done? What are the action items?
Action item, yeah, set up weekly calls with them to understand if they have now feeling better compared to previous, like why they were doing that false estimations and not able to share the progress notes in an accurate way. So we set up a weekly once call and try to understand their perspective, whether they have approached, suggesting them a way to do it, and to ensure like whether they have incorporated or they're able to follow up now with whatever new approach suggested.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. Any other action item that comes to your mind?
Yeah, these are the things I have tried, and I am able to share it here in this forum. But maybe, yeah, if any suggestions that would help to change my way of managing with this kind of team members in future.
Deepika, I'm noticing a change. I think you were a little tensed when you started with this conversation.
My daughter is so I just wanted to send her from this room. So yeah.
No problem. But right now you're more relaxed. You're more smiling. So does this did this conversation help?
Yes, definitely it helped.
Cool. Thanks, Deepika. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, you saw in this coaching conversation that Deepika approached me with the problems of her team. Okay. Now, I'm meeting Deepika for the very first time. I have no clue about her team. Who is one person who has all the answers about what her team needs? That is Deepika. And that's the mindset I'm operating from, that Deepika knows exactly what needs to do. She has all the potential, all the solutions within her. My job as a coach is just to bring those to surface. And I'm doing that by exploring, I'm doing that by partnering. I hope this makes sense. Cool. If you want to learn more about this, you can refer to the book, which you can see in Anand's video on top of his left shoulder, Coaching for Performance by Sir John Whitmore. Okay. He is the creator of the Grow model. Very, very relevant book, a must-read book for all Scrum Masters, for all Agile coaches. Okay. Any questions? I'll take a pause here. Any questions?
Hi, Vaibhav. This is Ajay. And
Yeah, Ajay.
I do have a one question or situation. Just
Mhm.
we always now Scrum Master was a servant leader. Then in 2020 guide, I think it's a leader. And
Mhm.
now the organization has decided that whatever the two teams, I'm handling two teams. Okay.
Mhm.
Or not handling, I should say facilitating. Okay.
Okay.
Or coaching, whatever you call it, the different hats. Now another hat has been added today, that we have to be a supervisor as well for administrative activities in the organizations for them in the tool. But my fear is because how the conversation starts and how these things go down the lane based upon my experience. As of now, performance cycle has been mentioned that you will be not doing that. It will be done by one skip level for those resources. So you are those with neutrality and the conversation, the openness which you do have with your resources or from there to me, those will be remain intact. But I have a doubt or fear that it might be not in going forward. People might look that in the tool he is a supervisor as well or a reporting manager. So how to tackle this, or means I'm just, it's a imaginary because it's just has happened today. Few data or after few months I think it can come, but just now this is strike, so I want to seek your opinion on this situation.
So Ajay, are you clear about your new roles and responsibilities as a supervisor?
I'm clear, but there is a very thin line which has been mentioned that you will be sitting in that conversation, but you will be not giving any feedbacks. So you just to observe, if anything intervene required, then you can pitch in. Okay. But from other aspects like the tooling, if they have to take a leave or they want to go to training or any administrative, their laptop not working or something else, or if it's you have to get them connected or redirect towards any payroll team, HR team or something, then you can guide them.
Okay. So, two thoughts come to my mind in the interest of time. One, if I were you, I will probably have a conversation with my senior management that Why should I be there in the performance meeting if I'm not giving feedback, or if I'm not giving any evaluation score or something on those lines? What do you mean by observations? Okay, because that's in that meeting there is nothing known as being a neutral. You're not facilitator there. Okay, that's one clarity that I would request you to have with your reporting manager, with your senior management. Okay. Number two, whatever you just mentioned, you need to have a very candid conversation with your team as well. And hey, this is what I've been assigned. This is the new role. This is the new thingy. And this is all what it entails. This is all what it does not entails. And clarify any questions that they might have. And that could be your contract. That could be your agreement with the team that, hey, this is how I'll be supporting you. And this is what is outside the boundary of this new responsibility.
Sure, that I have already done. And as of now, the team is aligned. But, but let's see.
No, what is the ambiguity then?
No, ambiguity is like, as of now, there is no, you know that how the communication flows. There is no written agreement from my supervisor who has delegated this. And one fine day, he might be out of the organization, he might be out of the project, or he account something. Then if someone new came, then whether that will be still there or not. So I am of the opinion while discussing with you that I should have a written agreement as well with my supervisor.
So you know what to do.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, a small demonstration, guys, but you see how powerful coaching is. I'm not giving any suggestions to Ajay. I'm not giving any solutions to Ajay. Okay. I'm not telling him exactly what needs to be done. I'm just rephrasing the situation for him. And he came up with what the issue is and what needs to happen. Okay. We have 3 minutes left. And in case we have no more questions, there is just one final topic that I want to cover. And that is, many times people mistake coaching as something, oh, I'm just a coach. I'm there to support. I'm a Scrum Master. I'm a servant leader. I'm just there to, be goody, cushy thing, right? Please understand, that's something which is not enough. If you want to have high performance, then you need high input of both support as well as challenge. If you're giving low support, if you're giving low challenge, it's inertia, it's apathy. It's like, I don't care. Okay. On the other hand, if you're giving high support but low challenge, that's the cozy club. That's where aspirations go to die. There is no moving on. There is a dependency. There is no growth out there. At the same time, if you're giving high challenge but low support, that leads to stress. We all know of those managers who just keep on pushing more work without any support. So what you need, ladies and gentlemen, is the best form of challenge. Let me rephrase that. The highest form of challenge and the highest form of support. As a coach, you can, through your conversations, challenge your coaches. But do that once you have established a relationship, once you have established a rapport, they trust you. You don't want to do that in your very first meeting. But once they believe in you, once you have a good rapport, start adding the ingredient of challenge. You start with support, you add challenge later on. Over a period of time, you keep on increasing the degree of both. We are dot on time. On that note, I'd like to thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. You have been listening very patiently. Thanks, Anand, for the opportunity. Back to you.
Thanks, Vaibhav, for really enlightening us with what the theory behind Grow model is, as well as practically demonstrating it, because people will learn when they experience it by themselves. We don't have to provide the answer, but we should be the trigger for them to find the answer within themselves. And that's what Vaibhav showed us. Coaching is a really powerful tool. It goes beyond Scrum. So I would highly encourage people who are over here to start experiencing Grow model. AI can get out the technical practices and tool set, but it can never be emotionally intelligent to replace a Scrum Master who's also a very powerful coach. So with that, thanks once again, Vaibhav, and best of luck for everyone over here for your career. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Thank you, Anand.